cannot be very long. So the ruling came after 11 PDP-controlled states, as at then, because now most of these states have already defected. All right, so most of the controlled states challenged the emergency declaration and the suspension of the Rivers State governor, the deputy governor, and also the state assembly. So in responding to this, the Supreme Court is saying that the president has the legal rights to suspend any elected official or to declare a state of emergency in any state or any locality just for law and order to be maintained in that place. So the court held that the plaintiffs failed to show any actionable disputes affecting them directly, striking out the suit while also ruling on the merits. We have the Justice Mohammed Idris noting that Section 305 of the Constitution grants the president discretion to adopt extraordinary measures to restore normalcy during any crisis, any form of crisis in any place. So the court also upheld the National Assembly's method of approving the emergency rule through the voice note. So why did PDP describe the ruling as a potential threat to democracy, warning that future presidents could misuse emergency powers? The court maintained that the law allows the president to act decisively to protect public order, but then within constitutional limits. So this is it on the right of the president. A lot of persons are saying that the president can misuse this opportunity, this right, and suspend any elected official. Like when it was done to the Rivers State governor, a lot of us spoke against it, that the president doesn't have the right to suspend any official, any public office holder, official elected by the people. But here the court is telling us that according to the Constitution, the president do have a right to bring a state of emergency, to declare a state of emergency, and also to suspend any elected official just to maintain law and order in that state. What do you think about this ruling by the court? You can call us and let us know. Moving on, still on the newspaper headline, the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja has adjourned until Thursday, December 18, for ruling on the bail application of former Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, who is facing prosecution over an alleged 2.2 billion contract fraud. So during Monday's proceedings before Justice Hassan, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission argued that Ngige breached the condition of his earlier administration bail by failing to return his passports after a medical trip abroad. The FCC claimed that while Ngige said he lost the passport in London, he only filed an affidavit of loss in Nigeria rather than in the UK, undermining the bail system. Ngige's defense, however, insists that the passport was genuinely lost and provided documents showing that the loss was reported to the UK Home Office and the Nigerian High Commission. His lawyers argued that Ngige returned to Nigeria using an emergency travel certificate, poses no flight risk, and requires ongoing medical care, particularly for his eyesight. So the EFCC maintained that granting bail, despite the breach, could set a dangerous precedent. While the defense emphasized Ngige's age, the health challenges, and lack of prior criminal record, that he had no criminal record before this. So after all the lengthy arguments, the court adjourned the matter for ruling. Keeping the spotlight on is this high-profile case and the legal questions surrounding the lost passports under administrative bail. So by Thursday, they are going to resume, and after that, we are going to know what's next on the case of Chris Ngige. All right, so let's see if on the Daily Sun we see PDP lawyers fault Supreme Court. PDP lawyers fault Supreme Court. Tinubu charges army to remain apolitical. Dangote oil mafia worse than drug cartels. Behind over 100 attacks on PHC refinery. We must defeat enemies of Nigeria. Defense Minister charges soldiers to defeat the enemies of Nigerians. Still on the Daily Sun, PDP will come out of current challenges better and stronger, says McAfee. McAfee says that PDP will come out of current challenges better and stronger. All right, FIRS to raise 2026 revenue target to 35 trillion naira as Senate frowns at multiple budget rollovers. The federal government admits 30 trillion naira revenue shortfall in 2025. All right, on the Vanguard newspaper, Senate kicks against multiple budgets in one fiscal year. Interagency rivalry to blame for bandit allegations. Kwara government officials says that interagency rivalry to blame for bandit allegations. Remember that we talked about some of the bandits accusing the Kwara government of being the sponsors of the terrorism going on in that location. But then the Kwara government says that all this accusation has to do with inter-rivalry, the agency, and it has nothing to do with the truth. So they are debunking the information that they have nothing to do with banditry or the attacks going on in the country. All right, still on the Vanguard, reps wade into Dangote NMDPRA disputes and summons parties. So Dangote has accused the NMDPRA chairman of being involved in money laundering, spending, putting Nigeria into a lot of economic loss, citing that he is sending his children abroad to study, while a lot of families in the country are yet to afford basic education in the country. So he is asking, how is a public service holder able to sponsor their family, 5 children? And then the recent one that just graduated, Dangote is asking, how was he able to get a lot of money to sponsor his children outside the country? So these are also the things we need to question. A lot of these politicians, how are they able to get all this money? Because some of these politicians do not have any other thing that they are doing aside being politicians. So where do they get the money from? This is where accountability falls in. And we are asking the government to look into the matter. For any allegation against the man made by Dangote, they should look into it and ensure that they come to an end of it. All right, still on the Vanguard, we see emergency rule. President can suspend elected officials. Supreme Court. All right, on the Nation newspaper, boost for disposable income as inflation drops to 14.45%. Viral bandit footage results of interagency tension. And police to resume enforcement of tinted glass permits January 2nd. All right, let's see if there's more to take. On the Daily Independent newspaper, airlines justify sky-high fares amid public backlash. Inflation drops for 8 consecutive months to 14.5%. How coalition built with Buhari removed sitting president by Tinubu. All right, so this is all we can take this morning on the newspaper headlines. Remember that if you have any comments, any opinion to make on what has been read so far, you can call in on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. Remember, you are listening to High Voltage on Volt 104.3 FM, your weekday news analysis show, where we review and analyze the news and also talk about the issues affecting us as citizens of Nigeria. Yes, remember that you can drop your comment on our YouTube channel, subscribe to High Voltage News, like, comment, and share the video for others to be part of the conversation. Yes, this is how far we can take on the newspaper headline. We will go on a short break. And when we come back, we will take a look at some of the trending stories in Nigeria across the country that has been trending from yesterday and this morning. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Welcome to the show and the presenter that won't stop giving it their all.
Hey, my name is Ogio, your pilot one, and I'm current affairs in her palms.
Everyone, my name and I'm passing the mic to the judge and peacemaker in Volt FM Sports.
I am Godwin and I'm passing the mic to the even not cultural G.
Monte, afam banti Chinazo, achọrọ m pass the mic to ofu onye ọ na-adị ekwe ekwe n'ihe John kwuru, mana ọ bụ ojembe enwe ilo.
Magic voice, United, and I'm like to one person when they give anything right for at all.
Hi, family. My name is John, and I'm passing the mic to the driver. We know they collect fare, you know now.
Hi, neighbor. It's Jason here, and I'm passing the mic to the one that has the magic to heal your broken heart. My name is Malaika, and I am passing the mic to you. Yes, you, for being part of
Gold 104.3 FM.
Yes, you're welcome back to High Voltage on Volt 104.3 FM, your weekday news analysis show, where we review and analyze the news and also talk about the issues affecting us as citizens of Nigeria. Yes, if you've been listening, we just talked about the newspaper headlines, and the phone lines are open on 0706 048 5853. Hello, good morning. Good morning, you're welcome. Your name and your location. Okay, we can hardly hear you.
Thank you. Democrats in this country. I'm telling you, the cost is name is the cost of clean. The president has the move another. What another? It's a president declares it emergency. And when it will be like I said, when he said he said that the decree was the decree of Obasanjo. Where the decree actually made the but to be surprised, stop using this nonsense. Radio. So this using this like a law. It is actually a law.
Yes. Yes.
And you president says that he has a colleague to be a sitting president. If he is a new people, if he is is like you know, president. Some of the then president, I think it was about
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, all right. Network was bad, but we are glad that we were able to hear some of the things that you said. All right, you two can still call in on 0706 048 5853. Let's hear what you have to say on the headlines. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to you, Adele.
You're welcome. Please, your name and your location.
Okay, someone from Abuja.
All right, please go ahead.
Okay, let me start with the defense minister that say we must fight the enemy of the country. My question is, who is the enemy of the country? Is it the citizen or the politicians? That is the government. Because they say that citizens are the real government, but we as a citizen know the real government because our voice doesn't matter anymore. So we know the real government, but let nobody mention bandits or Boko Haram or other things. So the real enemy is between the citizen and the federal government, that is all the Nigerian politicians. So they must choose who is the real enemies because everybody will know what is happening. So then, in the issue, Igbo leaders have sold their birthright to other tribes because of money. Because that is why whenever they are in problem, they can investigate. The investigation will go. That's when we know that Nigeria this thing know how to investigate a crime and they find out the truth. DSS or the other people. So when it's matter to one tribe, so not that I'm supporting any form of crime, but the law should not be one-sided. So anyone that commit crime, you should go for it. So, but in Nigeria, own it's one-sided. They will investigate thoroughly to find out the truth when it concerns one tribe. Then, as for that, because that's what Igbo leaders have put themselves into, because they are just like a pastor who depend on their member to succeed. So you get some certain preaching you can't preach in the church because once you said that the people that are giving you money will run away from the church, so you will before you preach. So, when you are depend on your own succeeding and depending on God you are serving, you will say anything, repent, and they preach all kind of preaching. So everyone who want to hear will hear. If you don't want to hear, you go. So, but that's by the way. Then for the court ruling, I think that a president have the power. We already know that the president is number one in this country. Nobody, no judge, no judicial is powerless under president in Nigeria currently now. So whatever president says stands. So the court rule or whatever is just wasting. You are wasting your time. So if you need anything, just check for president approval. So when the president approves it, you go to the court, you are wasting your time. So that is the kind of country we are into. So which is not supposed to be so. So I don't know. We to God help us in this country, but for this current government, they are not taking us anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so the thing remains that whatever decisions that the Supreme Court or whatever decisions that the National Assembly makes, it's something they need to look at the future. It's not just about who is leading now. We also need to know that there are other people that are going to come in positions later on. So whatever decision is something that should favor everyone, especially the masses. All right, so let's take this call before we move into the trending stories. Okay, we lost that call. Okay, you can do well to call back on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. All right, so moving on what is trending this morning. Yes, the former Minister of Information and National Orientation, Lai Mohammed, has again defended the federal government's handling of the 2020 NSAS protests, insisting that there was no massacre, that no massacre occurred at the Lekki toll gate. He was speaking at an interview yesterday at Channels Television, and Mohammed acknowledged that there were no casualties during the protests, but he rejected claims of a large-scale killing at the toll gates. According to him, soldiers deployed to the site were issued blank bullets, and the attacks was to just disperse the protests, not to cause any death. So the federal government, from what is said, that the federal government never said there were no casualties during NSAS. 37 policemen lost their lives, 6 soldiers died, but he continued saying that there was no massacre at the Lekki toll gates. He said that he challenged anybody to provide evidence of missing protesters from that location. We are talking about Lai Mohammed, and this is what he said yesterday. So while he admitted that the blank bullets could potentially cause injury, Mohammed emphasized that no lives were lost at the toll gates. Not one single person, not one single Nigerian who came out to protest during the 2020 EndSARS lost their lives. So he's attributing the whole thing to the widespread reports of the massacre to fake news. So it's after 5 years of the NSAS Lekki toll gate massacre, Lai Mohammed is saying that it was all fake news, that there was no deaths, nobody lost their lives. So I don't know what you have to say, because of course we saw evidences. We saw people losing their lives, we saw people crying on social media. We saw all this, even if some of us were not present at in Lagos during the whole protest. We saw evidences. So why is he coming out to say that it was all fake news, that it was all lies, that nobody lost their lives during the NSAS protests? I don't know what you want to say about this, but you can call on 0706 048 5853 and let us know what you think about what Lai Mohammed is saying concerning the Lekki toll gate massacre, the NSAS protest that was held in 2020. All right, so this is one of the trending stories on social media because a lot of persons are talking about it. Like, why would someone, I mean, he was in position during that period, and something like this happened, and you are coming out now to tell Nigerians that nobody lost their life during the NSAS protests. Were you part of did you experience it? What do you have to say concerning this? All right, and still on the trending stories, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio is currently receiving medical treatment in London. Senate President is currently receiving medical treatment in London following a collapse earlier this month. Sources from the National Assembly reported, I got this information from the Sahara Reporters. So reports indicate that Akpabio collapsed on December 10th and was airlifted to London in a private jet provided by Aliko Dangote. So his health situation has kept him away from official duties. But what is worrisome is why many of these politicians, for any health challenges, what they think of is going out of the country to receive treatment. We are asking, why is it that Nigeria does not have enough or maybe quality healthcare? Is it that we don't have quality healthcare that the politician trusts, that they believe that they can just go there and receive treatment? Because it feels like most of them, all our top leaders, any health issue, they fly out of the country. Meanwhile, this is something that can tell them we need to upgrade the hospitals in our country. We need to upgrade the health system. We need to pay our doctors well and nurses well. Because just this year, doctors went on strike, nurses went on strike. So now what do you expect when you cannot pay your people well? Where the welfare is very bad. And then the leaders that we have, they don't even trust the healthcare, the systems in the country. They don't trust that. Because they have the money to go out of the country. What about the rest of us? What about the citizens who do not have the kind of opportunity that they have, the kind of privilege that they have to fly out of the country to receive treatment at any slight opportunity? Although our prayers are with the Senate president, yes, we are praying for quick recovery. But reports said that this is the second time that the Senate president has collapsed. This is the second time, and a lot of persons are telling him to withdraw from the duties and take care of his health. So our prayers are with the Senate president, Godswill Akpabio, wherever he's doing his treatment. But we are urging the federal government, we are urging the state government to look into the healthcare systems in the country. Until the leaders that we have start believing in the systems in the country, in the healthcare, then we will know that they are really doing a lot for our doctors and for our nurses. So it's something that they need to look into. All right, so still on the trending stories on across Nigeria, the Nigerian Police Force has announced it will resume enforcement of the tinted glass permits starting January 2nd, 2026. So this decision comes after a careful review of the rising security concerns in the country and also the need to ensure the safety of all citizens. The police clarified that no court order has barred the enforcement. The earlier suspension was meant to give motorists enough time to regularize their documentation and also to complete the registration process without pressure. So, however, the recent trend shows a worrying rise in criminal activities carried out with vehicles fitted with unauthorized tinted glass. Some individuals and organized groups have exploited this gap to conceal their identities and also to commit crimes like the armed robbery and kidnapping. So because of this, the Nigerian Police Force says the resuming enforcement is both necessary and urgent to protect communities. The Inspector General of Police, the Kayode, assures that enforcement will be very professional and it's going to respect the citizens' rights and follow the law. He emphasizes the force commitment to public safety and collaboration with stakeholders to keep Nigeria secure. So for the motorists who need a tinted glass permit, the process is now digital and streamlined. So applications can be submitted through the official portal, providing your NIN, providing your TIN, and biometric data. So the system also runs background checks and approved permits are issued digitally within 72 hours. So each of the permits comes with a QR code, a unique serial number, and hologram to prevent forgery. So all motorists are urged to apply ahead of the January enforcement date to ensure that there's full compliance. So if you have a tinted glass and you are yet to get yours, you can apply on their official portal on www.posap.gov.ng. So you just go there and look for the things that you need and fill in the applications. Just within 72 hours, you should be able to get your permits from what they said. All right, so next we have the Joint Revenue Board. The Joint Revenue Board, formerly known as the Joint Tax Board. They've announced a nationwide ban on the collection of road taxes, road levies, and related charges through the checkpoints. So they've banned it, including the use of road stickers by both state and non-state actors. The decision communicated after the board's 158th meeting in Abuja is aimed at sanitizing Nigeria's tax administration and also improving the ease of doing business in Nigeria. The board also called on security agencies, including the Nigerian Police Force and the Office of the National Security Advisor, to take immediate action against any illegal roadblocks where taxes and levies are being collected. So they've banned it that you cannot stop any motorist to check for levies or tax that is being paid. Now, according to the board, these practices undermine the integrity of the tax system, and also they impose arbitrary costs on businesses and transporters, and also weaken the public confidence in revenue administration at the subnational level. So the board re-emphasizes the outright abolition of the design, the production, the issuance, and the enforcement of all manner of road stickers and related instruments. The communique stated, urging Nigerians to resist payment of such levies and report offenders to relevant authorities. So when you have been stopped on the road and a police or any security personnel is asking for your tax or for your levy, this is me telling you that the Joint Tax Board has banned all this, that they do not have the right to stop you on the road to ask for levies or even to give you stickers to put on your vehicles and ask you to pay for them. So this is what they have said. But then we are asking for, it's not just about saying it. The police force should enforce this. All the law enforcement agencies should ensure that there's implementation of all that has been said. All right, you've been listening to High Voltage on Volt 104.3 FM. The phone lines are opened now on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. Call in and let us know what you think about all that has been said to you. What do you think about the Joint Tax Board, the ban on the levies, the checkpoint levies and all that? What do you think about the tinted glass permits, the enforcement that is starting on January 2nd, 2026? And also on the issue of our Senate president, who has been admitted, was flown to London for treatment. He collapsed on the 10th of December 2025. And like I said before, our prayers are with him and we are praying for speed recovery, that he recovers. And also we are urging the government to look into the matter, the hospitals in the country, to ensure that it is very adequate and it has quality services for everyone, including the politicians. So our phone lines are open. You can call in and let us know what you think. And also, you can drop your comments on our YouTube channel on High Voltage News. Like, comment, share the video for others to be part of the conversation. And also for the case of our former Minister of Information. Yes, before I forget, let me bring it back to your notice. The former Minister of Information, who said that there was no massacre during the 2020 EndSARS protests. He said that no life was lost. And he is challenging everyone to prove that anybody went missing or that there was any life lost during the 2020 EndSARS protest at the Lekki toll gate. So he claims that the police officers were just giving blank bullets and it was not intended to kill anybody. So while a lot of persons are against what Lai Mohammed said, because this is something that is so sensitive, because we know that people came out and people said that they lost their loved ones during the EndSARS protests, during the fire, when the soldiers opened fire on the protesters, people lost their lives. So coming out is like opening fresh wounds. I mean, this was just yesterday that he was granted interview. It's just like opening fresh wounds and telling the citizens that nothing like this happened. Nothing like that ever happened, and we witnessed it. We saw the videos, we saw lives, we saw people. It has left a lot of persons questioning, asking, was he right to come out and say something like this? Does he have proof that nobody died during the EndSARS protests? So what do you have to say about it? 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. What do you have to say about all that you have heard so far from the newspaper headlines and from the trending stories across Nigeria? Call us and let us know. Your opinion matters to us. We need to know what you think, your concerns about what is going on in the country, about some of the things going wrong, the things going, whether it's going right, whether you think you approve of even what the Supreme Court said about the president having the right to suspend a sitting elected official, because this is a court order. This is a court order, and most times, although we know that in Nigeria, most of our leaders have gone against court order, but in some cases like this, when it has to do with the number one person in the country, it's going to be very hard to go against it. This is what the court has said. The Supreme Court has said that the government, the president, has the right to declare a state of emergency in any locality that threatens the law and order of the citizens. And yes, we agree with that. But then, do we agree with the fact that the president has the right to suspend any elected official, be it governor, be it executives, be it lawmakers, whoever it is that the people went out and voted for? Does the president have the right to suspend such person? So this is what we want to really understand. And maybe you have a better knowledge of all this and you would like to let us know, like, is this really the right thing? The Supreme Court, was it really a right ruling? Was it a right decision by the courts? Because it now looks like they've given everything, every power to the president, that the president can do anything he wants to do in the country. Yes, that is what it's looking like. The president nominates anybody. The Senate comes and say, just do bow, just greet and bow, and the position is for you. We saw what happened for the screening of the ambassadorial nominees. The women were just given just come, introduce yourself, and that is all. You've gotten the position. No screening. So far it comes from the president, then you are right to take on the position. And even if they screen you, you end up still being in that position. So it feels like everything, there's a lot of power that has been attached to the president, and it's not how it's supposed to be. It's threatening the democracy of the country. It leaves a lot of citizens questioning, do our voices really matter? Whatever it is that we say, does it matter? We carry a case, we take a case to the courts. the court rules against the people and rules in favor of a particular number of persons and rules in favor of the ruling party. Is that what the court stands for? This is a really big concern for citizens of Nigeria, because we can wake up tomorrow and there's another law. So this is the issue that we are going on in the country. The things that we are looking at. We really need a state, a place where the Supreme Court, where all the courts, the lawyers, the judges are ruling rightly. They are doing things that affect the masses positively. Because you can wake up tomorrow and vote for the person that you want to be in your state. And just because the ruling party is not okay with that person, they can cause something and suspend that person. So this is what we are asking the court. They really need to sit and look at every decision that they make in the country. They need to know that it's going to, in years to come, decisions like this can affect everybody, including you that made the decision. So the country really needs to do better. We all need to do better. And because of time, this is where we are going to end it this morning. We've talked about the newspaper headlines. We've talked about some of the trending stories, the tinted glass permit, very important to you. If you are yet to get it, you should be able to get it between now and January 1st to avoid any embarrassment by the Nigerian police force. So thank you for being part of the program. Thank you for being part of High Voltage. Join us again tomorrow for more of the news, for more of the headlines, and also for more of your voices. It has been an amazing time with you. Yes, you've said your opinion. You've told us what you think concerning some of the things going on in the country. And we'll continue tomorrow. Remember that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel on High Voltage News. Like, leave a comment, and also share the video for others to be part of this conversation every weekdays, Mondays to Fridays by 9 a.m. My name is Odili. Have a beautiful day ahead.
Welcome to the